hitting the record button, sharing my screen with you, and we will proceed. Okay, there we go. All right, cool. Okay, awesome stuff. And then which I think it's this one. And then and we need to just launch this again. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, we want to get into administration. Okay, so we had done my profile, we had done navigation, we had done sign up. We just needed to do users, company settings, and password. Okay, so let's start with users. So to do users, okay, I want to show how you get to this screen. I can't exactly show it on the demo. But I will show you how you just generally make your way to it. Okay. So you would typically do that here under administration. I'm going to quickly see something. Let me log out of this demo account. Let me log out. Okay, now that I'm logged out, then I'll just try and log into this inactive account. Okay, then when you go to administration, can you see there? It says manage users. Okay, so under administration, manage users, and that's when you would get that screen. Okay, it's not going to take us there because obviously there's nothing happening in this account. Okay, but I just wanted to show you how we get to this particular page. Okay, and it even says click on administration, manage users option, and then you get to this. Okay, but I'd like to allow people to visually see these things. Okay, so then you want to add a user. So you'll click on add user. Okay, if you have an accountant working for you, then you can click on add accountant over there. Okay, but we still do have another opportunity to also add an accountant. Okay, so then you'll get to this screen once you've added a user. You'll fill in their details, telephone number, mobile number, add in comments. Okay, click whether they're a regular user, and then here's your second opportunity to add them in as an accountant. Okay, you can specify which areas of accounting the user has access to under control user access. Okay, and we'll see that now. Okay, so once you filled in that information, you then would just click save, and then the user will receive an invitation via email that will then allow them to obviously access your profile. All right. Now, if you want to set up controls, okay, you're able to limit user access to different companies. Click on administration and then control user access. Okay. Once you've clicked on that, you will then have this screen. Then you go to permissions for that specific user, and add permissions. You'll see now where it takes us. You can then set your permissions as per the menu options. Okay, so if you want them to be able to access or edit your dashboard, you tick that box. If you want them to be able to access and make amendments and put up products, you tick items, quick views, reports, VAT, okay, suppliers, all right, banking, the company settings, all right, and so forth, okay. So that's how you then control the accessibility or the permissions of a user, okay. All right, let's go on. Obviously, you click save after you've chosen your permissions. Okay, so that is how you create a user and also set permissions. And this is an activity. Again, you guys can do this activity in your own time. You just click start. You'll be setting up a user or adding a user, creating a user, and obviously setting permissions. Okay, I don't want us to get into this, so I'm just going to quickly close. Well, let me see if I can. Okay, cool, awesome. So we've dealt with users, then company settings. Okay, Sage Accounting allows you to edit your company details to make changes if anything changed. Click on company and then change company settings. Open your company settings screen or click on company settings icon on the top of the page. Okay, so this is where you would click. Let me show you in the actual. So here's where you would click. Okay, and then obviously you have your company settings. Okay, all right, okay, you have your company settings. All right, so just wanted to show you that. Oh, another place where you can go in order to get there is just go to company and then change company settings. You would land at the same place, exact same page. Okay, you'll find that in Sage there's many ways to do the exact same thing. Okay, so you should just practice the way that obviously makes the most sense for yourself, and that'll just make your life all the more easier. Okay, right. Cool. All right, so there you see, you can add in the details. Okay, if you hadn't added them in already. Okay, just putting my phone on silent. All right, then let's move on. Okay, so here it's just talking more to your company details, but I think that's pretty straightforward. Okay, statutory information, your tax number, city, province, country. Okay, awesome stuff, awesome stuff. Okay, all right, then financial year. Okay, so again, like I told you, most companies, their financial year ends in February, end of February, so therefore it starts beginning of March. Okay, so here you can just add more financial years or subtract them. Okay, delete them in other words. Then lockdown date. Lockdown date is basically when you set a date on which people can no longer process transactions or edit transactions. Okay. The reason why we set a lockdown date is so that when we are now at a certain point in the financial year, we don't want information to be changed because maybe we're preparing the financials for the year. So if people are changing things at the very end, then obviously it's going to mess up the financials. All right, which is not what we want. Okay, so that's what a lockdown date is all about. Okay. Then here it's all about rounding. So we can have different types of rounding, and I want us to just quickly have a look at this. So that's under general settings and then rounding. Okay, so here your different types of rounding. You won't see it there on the slides. You can round up, you can round down, you can have normal rounding. Okay, and here you can say round to the nearest 5. Okay, you can even say 0.50 if you wanted, or 0.1. Okay, or 0.05. Okay, it's all about you. Okay, or you can say no rounding. If you say no rounding, can you see I can't even click into that space? Okay, but that's all I wanted to show you there. Okay, so we don't need to jump into those. Okay, because I told you all about that. Okay, then here, regional settings. Here you're talking about the quantity. So if you're selling things that, let's say you have to weigh them. So if you're selling maize, all right, so you can say we're selling 50 kgs, 20 kgs, 20 and a half kgs, all right. Then obviously you would then need decimals, and that's what quantity decimal place is all about. Value decimal place is all about. And then you have hours decimal place. Okay, if you're counting how much time you've spent preparing a service or preparing doing certain work, that's when you'd use hour decimal place. Then here you have the currency symbol, which is rand. Okay, and then date format. Okay, so you can set up all those things. Okay, then here obviously customer and supplier settings. All right, here you are just confirming. Okay, do you want a warning when a duplicate customer reference used on customer invoice? So in other words, you have 2 references for the same customer invoices. Okay, do you want a warning? Okay, display inactive customers for section when processing. Okay, do you want that? If not, you just untick that box. Display inactive customers for section on reports. Do you want that? Okay, yes, tick the box. Okay, use account as default document line type section. Okay, all right, so some of these things, all right, they're neither going to impact or impact us. Okay, so you can probably just leave them unchecked. Okay, then item settings, product settings, in other words. Okay, same principle. You can just read through this in your own time. Okay, pretty straightforward. Okay, nothing complicated there. Okay, then when it comes to price lists, okay, typically you'll be on the default price list, which is the price you've inputted for your respective product. But you can set up another price list. So you can have your default prices that you've set up, but then you can say, okay, I'm going to a bougie event, so I'm going to charge these people premium. Okay, so you can set up prices slightly higher or more higher. Okay, then you can set up cheaper prices where you're operating just above cost. Okay, maybe you're going somewhere and you just want to push as many units as possible. Maybe you're running a special. Okay, so yeah, that's where that functionality comes into play. Okay. Time tracking, I did tell you about time tracking. Okay, so there you can set in a lockdown date for your time tracking. Then outstanding balances. Remember, outstanding balances here we're looking at, when your customers owe you. Okay, you can also have outstanding balances for in terms of you owing creditors. Okay, then protection of personal information. Again, here we're looking at I think I may have spoken about it earlier, where in South Africa, you have to keep information for at least 5 years before you can dispose of it. Okay, so that's what that is. Then here we're talking about VAT settings. So you have your invoice-based, payment-based VAT system, okay, or no VAT. Okay, there you enter your VAT number. All right, let's see what they're saying here. Here they're just giving an explanation to what invoice-based is, what payment-based is, no VAT. Okay, you guys should be familiar with those terms. Okay, but there are some great definitions there. So if you have some time, do go over those. Okay, and then here they're also just explaining, okay, what is standard rated, what is zero rated, what is exempt. Okay, let's go on, and then they're explaining input VAT and output VAT. Again, these guys have great definitions there. I think even better than your Accounting 1A textbook in my mind. Okay, then these are just statement messages. We're talking about messages that you want on your statements. Okay, so if it's a current statement, okay, something that's just been produced or within 30 days, less than, then you want to say thank you for your payment. Okay, if someone has been owing for more than 29 days, more than 90 days, we say please make a payment. Your account will be handed over for legal procurement. Okay, so that just makes your life easier, so that you know whenever you're issuing an invoice or a statement that has been due for 90 days, then you know that it will already have that information, as opposed to you trying to insert it when you now need to send it. Okay, then here all we're looking at with document numbers is, okay, for quotations, these are the document numbers that we'll have. Okay, so you can change the first two letters, you can change the number of zeros that you have there, or all the numbers there, you know, to speak to however you want the doc number to actually be. Okay, right, then here doc descriptions. Okay, so quotation, you can just have it as a quote. Okay, copy of a quotation. All right, so this is the original document, and then this is the copy. Okay, so here you can see on the very last one there you have supplier return, original name, and here you have copy supplier return. Okay, so that's what that is for. Okay, customer doc messages. Okay, on your quotations, what message do you want to have for the customer, on your sales orders, on your customer invoice, etc. And then you also have the same thing for suppliers. Okay, all right, then you have invoice and statement layouts. Okay, for quotes, all of these documents, we're saying layout should be modern. Okay, so you can switch this if you want. Okay, but typically, most people would just leave it. Then here's another place where you can insert your logo for your invoices, statements, emails, customer zone, etc. Okay, then where you can also position your logo over here. Okay, as you can see here, this person wants it in the top right. Okay, this will speak to when we actually get into customers. I think it would be better that way. Then here's just email signatures to your various documents. Okay, then multi-currency, this you can set it up if you want more than just rands, if you want to use dollars, pounds, whatever else. Okay, and that's your company settings. Then finally, and this is super short, it's one literal slide. Okay, if you want to change your password, okay, you just go to administration, change password. Okay, I know under company, I think it was, somewhere there was another place where we could also check the password. Sorry, change the password. So was it company settings? No. My profile, I think it was. So there you can see change password, and then if you go to my profile as well, I think you should be able to. Under my details, yes, that's the other place where you can change your password. Remember I told you there's many ways that you can skin the cat. Okay, old password, new password, confirm new password, then you click change password. Nothing new there. I'm sure we've all changed passwords somewhere, and that's been the same procedure. And that's it. That's it. Okay, so again, if you quickly go there, if you go back to your Sage, and if you open up your manual, you will see the topics we have done today. You'll see the topics that you've done today. Okay. Assessing Sage, accounting, signing up, navigating, editing your company details, creating users, assigning permissions, changing your password. Okay. So you can see lesson 1 and 2 we have just actually completed. Okay. All right. And then I'll probably see you guys, I think on Thursday or Friday. Not so sure. We will then be proceeding with our content. That is it for today. Don't know if you guys have any questions or thoughts from your side. Okay, any questions or thoughts from your side? Anything in relation to the module that you want to generally just talk about or engage?